TGIF, everybody. It's Friday. It's time for another Cold Open. I'm your host, John Manzione. I'm also the publisher of Spinfuel eMagazine. And today we're going to tackle a subject, dare I say, on the serious side of things? Maybe. But we'll see. I'll be right back right after this. Okay, and I am back. So I hope everybody is getting ready for the weekend. Whether you work for the weekend or oh crap, I don't even know how that saying goes. I work for the weekend or weekend. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. All right. Anyway, I have been waiting for the Joyetech Delta to ship for quite a while, and a few weeks back, we got a finished prototype from Joyetech, and we bought you a preliminary review on it to show on a cold open episode. And I don't do straight up reviews. I demo stuff and I talk about stuff and other lame ass stuff like that. But I mean, you should never make a decision on what I say alone. You should always seek out as many opinions as you can and do your own research, things like that. I'm just here to provide maybe a couple of laughs, maybe a couple of sneers, give you some information, and show you what stuff look like. So anyway, I've the review that here I go with that word again. The demo that I did of the Delta 2 went extremely well for me, and in regards to the personal vape that I got from it. And the one I got came with an RBA component, and like the Kanger sub tank, I thought that the Delta 2 would also come with the RBA component. As it turns out, it's a $14.99 option, which I can't say one way or the other whether it's worth it or not. I do know that I ordered several Delta 2s that I got in since then, and I didn't get them with the RBA component because I like the heads, the coil heads anyway, and I don't build my own coils very much. Although it'd be very easy to do with the Delta 2 with their single coil, and strip a piece of cotton through there and you're ready to go. But anyway, so, since that time, there has been some talk. Everybody seems to really love the way it looks. They say it's the best looking tank of the major tanks that have come out, and that it vapes really well, produces a lot of flavor, produces a lot of vapor soap and so on. But there was some concerns about this material, this very, very small piece of material that they put between right against the coils, so right between the coils and the cotton, to protect from dry burns. And on some reviewers' video, they showed that it crumbled up and produced fibers, and all of a sudden there was a lot of talk that it was another Atlantis OCC coil, not OCC, but the Atlantis coil again, and so that concerned me a little bit because it's you don't want to be breathing in tiny pieces of fibers that can get stuck into your lungs. You don't want to do that. Rather, whether it's harmful 6 months from now or 60 years from now, you don't want to do stuff like that. So the when I learned that the Aspire Atlantis coils were breaking apart and producing pieces of fiber that were 3 microns, so the biggest pieces were 3 microns, and through various scientific testing, it was shown that anything smaller than 5 microns could actually get into your lungs. But then the whole thing there's a whole other thing that as long as you keep your coils wet, that none of the fiber is going to go into your lungs anyway. So experienced vapors would be keeping their coils wet anyway. So it wasn't a big deal for me. And even I still use the Atlantis coils. I invested quite a bit of money in buying a couple of hundred coils, and I'm not going to throw them out and wait for the Aspire to produce the all cotton coils. So besides at my age, what difference does it make, right? But for the younger people, it does make a difference. So, but still, there's that whole thing. I mean, does it do anything to you? Nobody really even knows. But let's get back to the Delta 2 again, because out of all the major tanks that have come out in the last few months, the Delta 2 is by far my favorite as far as good looks go, absolutely, and as far as flavor and vapor, I really give the nudge to the Delta 2. And although I have been using the sub-tank Mini in particular a lot, it's because I didn't have the Delta 2s, but now I do. And that's all I've been using for the last 3 days. So when I looked into this, I found out that the tiny piece of material that they use in the and it's not ceramic. It's a man-made. What does that mean? Man-made fiber? I don't know, but it's not ceramic. And the smallest piece of fiber was more than 9 microns in size, which is twice the size that you could get, twice the size of the safety limit. So to me, it's a non-issue, absolutely a non-issue. And I would really hate for a lot of you guys out there who want to vape in sub-ohm or low-ohm, low-resistance coils, and stay away from the Delta 2 because you don't know what you're missing. And if you stay away from the Delta 2 just because you think that you're going to get pieces of fiber into your lungs, you're not. I mean, you're just not. I mean, the scientific testing says 5 microns or below, and you may. And that's only if you hit it with a dry burn. So, repeatedly. So, this is 9 plus microns. So, it absolutely doesn't hold any water. So, anyway, I wanted to address that because I don't want anybody to be making a decision on some trumped up hype or some hysterical ranting about something that does not matter. It does not matter. So anyway, one of the things I did want to show you today, I have my bottom camera on, by the way, so I may be interjecting some of this so you can see. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this right now so that I can use this hand and get a drink of water. Okay, come back to me now. Isn't that cool? I could brush my teeth. I could pick nose hairs out of my nose. Whatever I want to do, just switch to the lower camera. So anyway, I also got a bunch of iStick 50s in for the crew and to use as giveaways and things like that. So this is the setup that I have been using right here. Is an iStick 50 with the Delta 2. And I'm going to give you a demo, and you tell me if what I show you here, which is absolutely real. I'm using a Max VG e-liquid in here, a blueberry waffle flavor, and you tell me if you see something that's disturbing, okay? Rather than somebody sucking on a mouthpiece, okay? So let's see. Somebody had a nice comment on one of my videos, talking about how why I keep doing that. You know, that business. I forgot what he said though. I have to go back and read it. Let's try it again. A lot, right? And God, the flavor is so good. So let's try it with a sub tank. You tell me if you hear any difference. Now my microphone's right here, so you should be able to get pick up any sounds easily. Both of the I'm going to go back down here now. Both of the windows, airflow control windows, are wide open on both coils, both tanks. Coils, jeez. As you can see. Anybody hear any sounds coming from the sub tank? I'll do that one more time for you. Now let's do this again. Let's do the Delta 2 again. I'm just not made for it. Guys, I tell you, I don't hear this alleged whistling. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I'm using it like a normal person. I think a normal person would would use it, although I'm not normal. Like Jacob, who's sound asleep over there, he'll attest to that. But I don't see. I don't see. I don't hear anything. This is of course, this is a different sub tank. Now I made I made it so you could tell them apart because one's a black battery and one's a gray battery. So you know I'm not using the same one. See, you know, I mean, a lot has been made about whistling and about the micron size and things like that, and I don't see it. Nobody here sees it. Nobody here hears it. I've seen the photographs, and I've seen the scientific testing, and 9+ micron size particles. I'm not getting anything into my lungs, and neither would you. So I hope that clears it up some. I don't want to get in any. I don't want to get into arguments with anybody. I don't want to, get anybody angry with me or anything. I'm just stating my experience with it. And I've seen the testing. I've read the testing. I've seen the photographs. I've seen the markings on the photograph. And I believe it. And that's all there is to it. And I got to tell you, in my personal opinion, and I have been vaping for 3.5 years, and I am all about flavor. And when you compare the flavor of the sub tank and the Atlantis, which I have right here, and the Delta 2, the Delta 2 produces, I would say, probably between 15-20% more flavor than the Atlantis, maybe 10% more flavor than the sub tank. Again, in my opinion, it could also be the juice I'm using. Who knows? But let me show you what the Atlantis sounds like and does. Wait a minute, I can tell you right now that's not open all the way. Much tighter draw, and it's open all the way too. It's the nature of the beast that's going to make this little whooshing sound, but there's no whistling. I know. It's not how I vape anyway. You know what I mean? I vape like this. That's how I do it. I'll tell you what, though, it has changed the way I vape. These tanks have changed the way I vape. I have always been bragging about well, the spinner batteries and the X-Jet clearomizers. Still love the X-Jet clearomizers. Still love the spinners and stuff like that, but I hardly ever use them now. And I don't seem to be a mouth to lung vapor anymore. I seem to be a a lung hitter, for a lack of a better term. Which brings me, which is a nice segue into my other topic. When my wife and I go to bed, we just go to bed about 2 hours before we go to sleep. We go in there and we watch television. And we both vape. And my wife uses an iStick 30 or an iStick 50, and she uses the GS, the eLeaf GS tanks. And I know she doesn't sub-ohm. I forgot, what is that, 1.2, 1.4 coils, coils, I guess. Anyway, and she definitely doesn't lung hit. She vapes more like well, let me show you how to do this. She vapes more like this. So she is laying next to somebody who vapes like this. And after a while, the room is like it's like a bar in the 70s. It is so thick with vapor. It's not funny. She has to actually ask me a couple times, and this was before the cold front came down here, which I'm really loving. Off subject, but I'm really loving this cold front. Woke up this morning at 34-degree temperature. That was glorious. Anyway, she asks me to crack the window because there's too much vapor in the room. So I thought she was kidding around all this time, or just breaking my balls or whatever. So yesterday afternoon I had been working from home all day, and I came out of the office here and walked into the formal living room, and there was a ray of light, a strong ray of sunlight coming into the house from one of the windows, and the rest of the house was not dark, but it was a lot darker. And I look into the ray of light, and there is just so much vapor floating through the light, and I realized that that we're producing a lot more vapor around here. Luckily, it doesn't stain the displays on my iPad or iPhone or computers or my camera lenses and stuff like that. It doesn't seem to do that, but it does produce a tremendous amount of vapor. So when I changed from a mouth to lung vapor to a lung hitter, it has increased the vapor in the house like 100-fold, So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Anybody see that? I don't know how I don't know when this cut off, but apparently I talked for 19 minutes or 20 minutes, and then I don't know. All right, so last thing I want to show you, and then I want to make a couple announcements, is that we are going to be reviewing, Nick is going to be reviewing this, as well as Tom. And, whoa, dude, what's the matter with you? Okay, here, grab a focus on this. Let's go down here. Grab a focus. This is made by Chillum. And it is the Tantra mechanical mod. And let me tell you, the threading on these things, let's come back up here. The threading on these things is like silk. It's just silk. And it's got all kinds. These guys worked on the SpaceX program. Those planes that are going to be going into space. And that's the kind of precision that these guys are doing, and these things are absolutely amazing. So they will have a nice review. I'm going to be meeting Nick in Tampa next Friday, and I will be giving him one. I believe Tom is going to do one, and but they're really nice. I wanted to show you that. Other reviews we have coming up is the IPV 2, which looks exactly, where's my IPV Mini? IPV Mini 2 versus the IPV Mini. And I just had the damn thing here. Oh, here it is. And I'm going to go down to the bottom again and show you these side by side. They are virtually identical in size, width, and everything else. The only difference that I can see from the exterior side is the knurling on the end cap where you screw the battery into. This is the IPV Mini 2 is, come on, grab your focus. There you go. IPV Mini 2 has, straight down, up and down lines around it. And this one is the IPV Mini, and this one has, I don't know what the hell you call that. That's what it has. But this is 30 watts, this is 70 watts, and I'm sure there are other differences with the chipset, things like that, and you'll get a nice review from Tom on this, and there you go. So what else? I think really I think that's it. We're waiting for a couple more tanks to come in. I know there's some coming after the spring festival. Everybody's left. Oh, and that's what I wanted to get to, the Jack and John show, which is such an original name. Let me tell you, when the show that we made, and the show that a lot of you have seen, was a rehearsal recording. We had really no plans other than, when we sat down and before we started recording, we agreed that if it came out well enough, maybe we would edit it and put it up. But the main purpose was to use it as a rehearsal, to get comfortable with each other and the way we talk, things like that. So we didn't pay all that much attention to the audio and things like that, and we just wanted to get the rapport going. So as it turned out, it really had a lot of cool information about the Spring Festival. So we decided to release it as the pilot. So it's episode 00. And Jack is now away. He's with his folks in that, I forgot where that was. He told me where it was. It begins with an L. It's about a 3-hour ride from where he lives by bus to the place. And he's shooting some video, and he's shooting a lot of pictures, and he's sending them to me as he does them, and we're going to show you a lot of it at our next show, and we'll talk about what he did during his spring break, and it should be a lot of fun. We'll also cover some vaping stuff too. There's some stuff coming out that I think you're going to be happy with, and really that's about it. We got some more giveaways coming, and it will include the Enjoy Artist Collection again. And it will include some sub-tanks, some Atlantises, some batteries, things like that. So we got a lot of things planned. So that's about it. The main purpose of this thing was to really, get the word out about the Delta 2. I'm not saying don't. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt until you look into it. But for heaven's sakes, um, don't let don't let anybody scare you until you investigate it yourself. You know what I mean? Until you can, challenge what I say, challenge what other people say, and find out for yourself. It's the only way. It's the only way we make progress. So I love my Delta 2, and I love all the Delta 2s that I now own. And unfortunately, I don't have that many replacement coils. But hey, I've got them on order, and they'll come in. But in the meantime, this thing is rocking. I love it. I love this iStick 50 on it. I did try it on the eVic, but they're right. Everybody who said that this rocks out at 40 watts is right. It does. This is a 40 watt um, tank, and if you do it, if you buy one, um, and you have a 30 watt or a 20 watt, 20 watt, it's not going to run. Well, you know what? It says so, but I couldn't get it to work. So you'll get the best flavor and vapor at 40 watts. So I'll leave you with another vape, and the encouragement to comment and subscribe. We got the last time I looked, we had 825 subscribers. That means we only have 175 to go, and I'm right in my math this time because I double checked. And as soon as we get there, we're giving away a Provar E3. And you know what? If the winner, when we call the winner's name, if they don't want a Provar E3 and they want something else of equal or lesser value, fine, because we're going to buy the Provar E3 anyway. So you want something else? That's fine. We'll do that. You don't have to take it. But that's it. This is great. Absolutely awesome. So, I am John Manzione. I am the publisher of Spinfuel. I almost said the other company name. Spinfuel, eMagazine, and I will see you next time.